Hi friends, it's Kay the Manana. Welcome back to the Let's Get Candid podcast. How is everybody doing today? Happy Thursday, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm so excited to be back on the mic with you guys. I can't believe it's already almost mid-December and we are officially in the holiday season. I am really looking forward to the end of the year. And, I'm really looking forward to 2023. We talked about that in last week's intro, but, this end of the year, it's the first year I get to go to holiday parties, which is fun and exciting. And I went to Art Basel, my first Art Basel ever, because it's normally during finals week, so I never get to be at home for it. And it was just really cool to experience a whole new side of Miami. And I never really hang out at the beach, so spend time in Miami Beach and meet a lot of new people. And it was just a really good time. Definitely exhausted. It was quite a whirlwind. Definitely need to be a better planner for it next year. Now I know. But it was a lot of fun, and I had a great time with some of my closest girls, met some new people, and it's exciting to be getting more acquainted with the city and being more well connected with PR companies and hospitality companies and media agencies, and just getting my name out there and building my brand here in Miami for real now, and just establishing myself here in Miami. And I'm just really, really, really looking forward to seeing where 2023 it takes me. And I can't wait to bring you guys all along for the ride. And I want to keep this intro short and sweet because I want to go help my parents put up our Christmas tree. But honestly, I just feel like slightly overwhelmed again. October was a rough month for me, you guys know that. And I want to do a whole episode dedicated to what it's like having been a lawyer for the last about 3 months and really, establishing my career and what that transition has been like. And then have my friends on who are also in this phase of life with me going through it as well. And because just in our group chat every day, we're just talking about how hard it's been, and no one really talks about that. So I mentioned last week that I do want to do that episode, but I also want to do a solo one, maybe short and sweet, a bonus episode sometime in the next couple of weeks. And just Manana, what's something that people wouldn't know about you just from following you?
I think a lot of people don't know that I'm like really sensitive with my immediate, like my close people.
Like
Like I,
sensitive, emotional, you mean?
yeah, I'm like really emotional. And on like the internet and on Instagram and stuff, like I really do not care about like people's opinions and all that stuff. But when it comes to like people in my life, like I'm really sensitive and like I'm like I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, and I'm very like aware of like my actions to them. I try to help everyone that I can. And online, like it's not even a persona, it's like really how I am. Like I really don't care. Like, people will DM me and like be like, you're such a dumb I don't want to, can I cuss on here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. They'll be like, you're such a dumb bitch, like you don't even know what you're doing and things like that. And I'm like, okay. Like I either post on my story or I send it to my friends or I don't reply. Like I don't care, because those people are nothing to me. But I think a lot of people don't know that I'm really sensitive in their life.
Yeah, I think that's a good one. I love starting off with the hard hitting questions because
I'm like, I was not expecting that.
yeah, I don't tell you that I'm gonna ask that because I really want to get your like real reaction. But I think that's such a good one, and it's true. I think people forget that we are choosing to share our life online, and even if we share a lot, like you and I both share a lot of our lives online, but there is stuff that we won't share and don't share that we keep private for ourselves. And what you see online is 100% who I am in real life, but then there's an extra 50% that I don't share online that is reserved for the people around me. So, and it's similar to you, I am very blunt. I'm open and vulnerable and blunt and honest online, and I am those things in person too. But yeah, I am very sensitive as well. And I'm a
No,
crybaby
definitely.
for sure. Um, so I love that. So when did you start sharing your life online? Because you started a blog, Truly Manana, and you are now blowing up on social media, and you are actually providing services for people to help them get started. And you built a course on this, which we'll talk about later. But when did it all start for you?
Oh my God, blowing up. I definitely would not consider myself blowing up, but thank you. That's sweet of you. Okay, so I'll give like a timeline of how it started. I wanted to start a blog in 2016, and I wish I stuck with it because influencing like was not a really a huge thing back then. Like it really was just like Instagram, like everyone was just posting their life, not like their day. And I didn't follow through with it because someone close to me, like, I found out, they still to this day don't know that I know this, but that I couldn't like do it. And I'm like, okay, like maybe like let me focus on school, you know? And at the time, like I was so young, I didn't even have an opinion for myself. Like I was just like, okay, maybe they're right. So years go by. I live in LA for like 3 months for a summer internship. And I started like following these bloggers, and it was only like a few of them. And I really like loved it. Like I was so invested in their life. And I'm like, oh my God, like I post all the time, like every day, but like I don't do it intentionally to like be like, an influencer or like a blogger or whatever. And I reached out to my friend who is now my boyfriend's sister. Backstory, me and my boyfriend dated in high school, and I met her through him like years ago. And she was like, she had her own blog too at the time. So I just knew she was someone I can count on for like helping me create a blog, which is Maria, which anyone listening, I think they know, maybe they know her. So she helped me make my blog, and I didn't really take it seriously until like I would post here and there, and I would really like focus on my Instagram and like posting stories every day. That was definitely like my main thing that I would make sure I get done, and like posts and feed and all that, and figuring out like my aesthetic. Cause then if it's crazy, cause now no one really cares about a feed, and I still do. It's
I
like,
still do a little bit too.
yeah, it's like I really try to like focus that, like, okay, just focus more on the content. Back then it was like, the aesthetic and stuff. So if you like go back on my feed, it was like just pure orange, it was pink, it was so ugly. So it's really funny like to like see your transitions throughout the years, But I started taking it seriously when COVID hit, like quarantine, and I would post a blog every week. Like I had a advice column called His and Hers, and it was anonymous, like anyone could submit anything. And every week we would answer them, and it was like crazy questions, which I'm actually going to be bringing back. I'm working on it. It's like WordPress is so complicated. I have to like figure out plugins and stuff, but once
Yes.
I figure that out, like once I figure it out, it's coming back, and it's going to be more of like Ask Manana. It's not going to be His and Hers. Like they won't be like a guy being included, but I'll have like guests in there, like Juan can join, or Kyle, or Maria, Beth, like people in my life, which I think will be a cool kick. But I kind of started it that way, and I don't know, it just naturally happened. And it's been fun. And sometimes you get what's the word? Clowns, what is it called? Clown syndrome? Imposter
Imposter
syndrome.
syndrome, clown syndrome.
Yeah, like clown
That
syndrome.
too.
That too, like I feel that way. But you get like imposter syndrome, like, am I doing something? Do I even like belong here? Like all these girls are blowing up so fast, and you get like the world of comparing, but everyone and their mom compares. But you just try to stay in your own lane as much as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to call it imposter moments. It's like a shift that I've been recently doing because it's not a syndrome. It's like it comes and goes. So I've been saying imposter moments now, but yeah, it still happens even today. Like Instagram is shadow banning me right now. And so I'm really struggling with just growing on Instagram and figuring out, like, I struggled the other day. I was like, maybe I should stop doing this. Like, do people even listen to this podcast? Do people even like following me? I had that whole like spiral, and I was like, and then someone else sent me a DM and we're like, thank you so much for sharing this. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
you're right. Like, okay, I'm good. Like it is helping someone. So it like, it's really, but it's important to talk about that we still have those moments, even when you think that you are super successful. And like I said at the beginning, like, you've blown up in comparison to me. We started around the same time. I started my blog in 2018, but I really didn't pick up like truly like quarantine when everyone else did. Like really, like that was when it took off, and influencing now became a thing. You've been able to blow up a lot faster than I have, and we'll talk about strategies and all that in a little bit. But it's just, even you like have those moments. You have your bad days, but the people in your life, your support system and your community ground you. And I'm very grateful that I'm starting to be able to build that community, and I'm starting to create relationships with people who either are supportive, but even if they're not doing it, or who do it and are supportive of me. Because comparison, like, everyone does it, but it really does rob you of happiness. And it's really nice to be able to have that support system and have friends
for
that
sure.
like you, that get it and are doing it too, and like are willing to be like, oh, you should try this trend, or you should do this thing, or like whatever, like you're willing to help out. So I love that. And yeah, so you mentioned aesthetic and looking back at the feed, and I love looking back, scrolling back to other people's feeds or even my own every once in a while, just to be like, damn, like I've come so far. So how have you kind of discovered your aesthetic? Where does it come from, and how did you kind of discover it?
My aesthetic, I think I've always, you know, I'm gonna kind of like talk shit. I think everyone's Instagram looks the fucking same now. And it really bothers me because like the originality is so gone. And I was like, the reason why I'm going on this rant is because I was just about to say, I've always loved neutrals. And like everyone says, I'm wearing neutrals, of course. Like, what else would I be wearing? Like, it's like, okay, but did you always, I don't know. Maybe
I
I'm
agree
like
with you.
being like, everyone is like neutrals and maybe they'll throw like in a pop of color and like make it a big deal. And it's like, okay, like everyone's doing that. So I sound crazy, but I have always like sticked within like I've never really been a fan of color. I have like minor colors that I like and I wear them and that's like it. And like I've always transitioned that into my feed. But I've like a lot of people will not care about a feed, but I've always like I've struggled a lot with it. Like I change it a lot or I change like the filters of it, but I've like stuck with one for like 2 years now and it's, done, it's made me happy. I don't want to say it's done great because I'm not like really worried about if it's executing, on the other end. I'm just like more focused on like, okay, do I like it? And I think that's like a huge issue now is like people are more focused on like, am I meshing in with everyone else? You know?
Absolutely. No, I'm so glad you brought that up, and actually was going to talk about this with you. So I love when the segue is just natural.
Yeah.
But I agree. Like I mean, I'm wearing green right now because it's St. Patrick's Day, and like I love green and it's of the moment. But I've always been a very neutral person. So to me, it was natural. And if you scroll back for the last 2 years since COVID really happened, like you can tell that the aesthetic was there. Like it shifted, little by little here and there. I was really heavy into the quote thing for a while, and now I like do it a little bit more minimally, but you can tell the vision was there similar to you. And I agree. I don't like the formula, like that people think, well, the fact that people think it's a formula to begin with, like, it's like, no, like be
Exactly.
yourself, like do what's good meant for you. Like my captions I've never been like the witty one sentence caption kind of girl. I'm like, I'm going to give you a whole essay because that's literally, if you called me and right now, like or texted me, like that's what I would say. So I tried so hard. Like, yeah, of course you want it to be of the moment and go with the trends. Like, sure. But you have to make sure it's true to you as well, because if it's not, your audience is going to know. So I'm glad you brought that up. And I was going to ask you about that. And yeah, like you are a very neutral person, but you have your pops of color here and there and whatever color's trendy at the moment, if it fits your vibe, like if it works for you. I'm not gonna like orange is having a moment. I'm not a bright orange kind of girl. Even though I go to Tennessee, trust me, I don't wear orange because that color is not flattering on me, but I'll wear burnt orange, which is the color this year. So I'm like, okay, I can do that. Green, love green, has always been one of my favorite colors. Blue, always been one of my favorite colors. But like, you won't catch me wearing pink, even though that had a moment for a while, because it's not my color. It's just not my vibe. I stick to what I know and what feels good to me. So I'm glad that that's your approach to it, because I think it does execute very well because your audience knows it's you. It's who you are as a person, and it works because of that. So I'm glad we got to touch on that a little bit. And how has your style evolved? You said you started off like bright colors and orange and pink, and you're like, but I've always been a neutral, although I love those colors. So how has your style evolved from when you started sharing your life online to now?
Wait, did I say I was in color before? I don't know. I think I blacked out, but I think I've always been in neutrals. I like pops of color, but like regardless of the color, like, or the whole neutral thing, my whole point of this like spiel was like, yeah, stick within the trends, but like if I have, and like going off topic, the amount of people I've muted these past few weeks is insane. And I can't tell you how amazing it's been because I'm not seeing these people. That's social media bothers me. And to be honest with you, some of them are my friends that I've met through social media, but it's like I love them so much off social media that I can't have that social media presence of them like ruin it for me, because I don't want, like, I can't see them so much. And like,
No, that's totally fair. I do the same thing.
Cause it's like, I can sense like the fakeness, or I can sense like they're trying too hard, and it bothers me, and I don't want to like come off in real life like that they're bothering me, because they're not. Like, it's different on social media, you know what I mean? So I have muted a lot of people, and it's been really nice, and I just strictly like see content that I want to see. And I really, honestly, I'm so happy that Instagram did that, and it was just recently, and I think they should have done it a while ago, because it like helps kids, like younger kids, and and the whole likes thing. And I really do think it's important if they take all the likes away. I think that's such a genius idea,
Oh,
because
I
then
love
everyone's focused on the content. So the people that are, that's off topic, but yeah, I don't know. I think my aesthetic has shifted in the sense of like appearance, but I think I've like always been the same. I don't know, maybe
No,
like
I
we have
meant
all matured. We've all
yeah,
like
no,
matured.
I meant like because you said it a little while ago. You were like, when I first started, I was sharing like these brightly
Oh,
colored
oh,
filters and
oh,
that kind of thing, and like how it's evolved over time and how your personal style has evolved over time is what I was the question. But I'm
oh.
glad you brought that up as well, like the hiding likes and muting people. And also when Instagram comes out now with the like you can pick chronological feed, following, or home. I'm so ready to have that update as well.
Wait, when is that gonna happen? Do you know?
Some it's like being rolled out little by little. You know how
Oh,
Instagram is, but it's
yeah,
coming soon. So I'm very excited for that.
definitely. That's gonna be chronological order.
Yeah, I'll flip between chronological and like my following, and like have only the people that like I want to see that are not muted, and then chronological just to be able to get like everyone's that I am following's post like to make sure I'm
Mm,
engaging with
mhm,
them.
mhm,
I'll flip
mhm.
between the two, but I'm really
Yeah.
excited for that feature. Yeah. So, how did you start working with brands? When did you realize like this can become a business and start making money off of it and working with people?
So a few brands would like reach out, and I would do it for free, because I really didn't know that I could charge, because again, at the time it was 2018. No, I don't think people were really getting paid for this stuff. Like they were, but like maybe bigger ones, At the time I had like 2,000 followers or 3,000, and I didn't know I could do it. So a brand reached out, and I was like, whatever, like let me charge them. And I was like, I was going back and forth with my friends, and I was like, guys, what should I charge them? Like $25, like 50. So I ended up like ended up like agreeing on 50, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like I'm charging them $50 just to literally take a photo and post. And that's how that's literally how it started. And then after that, I was like, okay, I'm gonna start charging brands, and if they pay, they pay, and if they don't, then I don't work with them, unless it's like a brand that I really want to work with. Because in the beginning, like you kind of have to like do your part and like do it for free in a sense, because you need to like build that credential and to show in your feed that you do sponsored posts. So when brands like look, they're like, okay, like this is the type of content that she posts when she does it. But I think I answered the question, right?
Yeah. No, you're good.
I can like spiel on and like talk.
No, I all good. By all means, spiel away. But no, you did. And yeah, no, absolutely. I think it is really important what you said. Like you have to take some gifted, especially at the beginning. And it's okay to still, even when you are working with brands and making money off of this and making an income, to still work with brands on a gifted basis if it's a brand you truly love, because not everything needs to be sponsored content. We want it to still be, as an audience, organic and authentic, and we want to know that you genuinely love the products. And if you're working with them on a gifted basis, then we know, or we would hope, you genuinely love the product. So I'm glad you mentioned that. And yeah, so you started making money off of this in 2018. You've been able to build a substantial side income because you do other things as well, which we'll talk about. But you recently started with Lisa Gilmore, host of Unwinding and founder of M Club Weekending, which is a course for influencers and creatives and content creators on how to monetize this. So when did Weekending come about, and what was the process like of building and launching a course to help people do what you guys are doing? Because you guys are incredible at it.
Oh, thank you so much. So actually Lisa brought up the idea to me. She was like, hey, can we talk tonight? I have like an idea that I want to pitch to. I was like, oh yeah. So she calls me, and she gave the idea of, I think we should like do something, like we should like collaborate together on like helping and teaching people like how to do, like make this like monetize their social media, and like give tips about, our stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm totally down. And she was like, but I think we should like, oh my God, Lisa's gonna kill me. She's like, but I think we should totally like do it for free. And I'm like, oh, I'm down for that. And then we like every other day or whatever day, like we would meet and we would talk and we would FaceTime about what we're gonna include in this. And I'm like we both like mutually agreed, like, okay, this is a lot of information. And as unselfish as we want to be, like it would be like a disservice to us almost,
No,
like giving
absolutely.
away.
And you guys already provide some of this valuable information in stories, in your DMs, when you
Yeah,
do people ask you questions for free. So if you're going to put all this time and energy and effort into building something and have your name attached to it, why not make it a part of your business? We're in the creator economy. It's time to start monetizing. And people like, there's times where you can get the information for free, but there's times where you're going to have to pay for it. And podcasts are a great source of free information. So why
oh
not
yeah,
have people monetize while they
for
can?
sure.
So,
Definitely. So after that, I was like, because we were giving such amazing information, and we're like, yeah, okay, we can like, put a price on it. So we did, and the process was pretty difficult, I'd say, but not really. Like you just had to like figure out how to create like your own website for it, how to charge, and the most difficult part was seeing how much we were worth. That was the hardest part because we're like, we don't know how much to charge, but you start with a number and then you go from there and you see how it does, and then your next course you include more or you charge more because it's credibility. Credibility. It's like when you first start a business, like photography, you're not going to charge $1,000 or 500 for your first photo shoot. You're going to charge like 50 or 100 or whatever it's worth. And so that's how we did it, and it's been amazing. Like it's only the beginning for Lisa and I with this course because we have so many other things. Like I'm going to come out with like a graphic designing course, which I think will be really helpful for all people, not even just like creatives, like business people who don't want to like hire, like outsource, and they can just like do it on their own. I can teach them. But yeah, it's been amazing, and I can't wait for more.
yeah, I'm really excited. I've been in school, so I wasn't able to join the last 2 times you did it just because I literally didn't have the time. But even as someone who's already established, not that I would say I'm established, but like kind of, I know I would benefit from it, and I'm glad you guys realize like you should charge for this because yeah, absolutely. But you mentioned starting something about graphic design and creating a course and helping people with that. Where did you get those skills? Because I know you did go to college. So
Oh,
what did you go to college for? Did you get it in college, or did you discover this on your own? Because you do a lot of great graphic design work for your own content, also for Unlabeled. But where did those skills come from for you?
oh, thanks. I actually did not learn this anywhere. I went to school for hospitality, hospitality is like you work in the service industry, so like hotels and things like that, which is perfect for Vegas. But I didn't. I don't know. I one day I just downloaded PicMonkey. I didn't like Canva at all. PicMonkey is like really similar to Canva, but more, I'd say, easier to navigate. And I just started playing around with it, and I didn't even YouTube anything. I literally don't know. I don't know. I think I just started doing it every day, and I would do it for my blog, and then someone hired me for doing newsletters for them. So I really like got to like get to know PicMonkey that way because I was like, okay, she was in makeup, so I like how to figure out how to like put like lipstick, like flat lay, like shades on in there and things like that. So I don't know. I think throughout the years I just learned it that way, but I have to. I know everyone doesn't have the time to just sit there and do it because this was during quarantine mainly that I think I really figured out how to do like graphic designing. But I'm not like a Photoshop god. I don't even know how to use Photoshop. If you do, like, you have so much like more power to you because that is a crazy app. But if you don't know how to use it, I say you just play around with it and then you YouTube it because it is so simple. Like PicMonkey, they make it so easy for you. You can like take out the background by one click. Before, when I didn't even know that was a thing, like I would get another app and I would I would do makeup, or like skincare block templates, and I would transfer to like one app and then download it from that app. So there's a clear there's transparent background, and then I would put it back to my app. So I just made it 10 times longer for myself. So if you're interested in that, just know PicMonkey, I think, and Canva has an option for immediately just
Yeah.
taking out the background. So don't waste your time. And that's like, I'll be teaching the basics of graphic designing on that course, and it'll be just like a 1-day thing. It's like a crash course type of thing. And also like a more advanced where you can like do all this stuff and all that. But I'm not going to like waste too much time on the beginners because I don't want to waste people's time or money, you know?
Yeah. No, and you
So
can
it'll
learn
be a
it
good
yourself.
balance.
Yeah. No, and you can learn it yourself. So I use Canva. I know you use PicMonkey. You're definitely way more advanced in it than I am because you took the time to teach yourself. That's something, once law school and the bar exam is over, on my free time, I do want to get better at it because I do really enjoy it. It's just, it is very time consuming, but I think even that crash course will be so valuable for people. And then
Oh yeah.
just for the little that I use it for, you know, podcast and for my own stories and branding, but then for people who are entrepreneurs or, you know, helping other people run their businesses and social media managers and that kind of thing, that's then the advanced course that you would offer more skills in. But I think that's super valuable. And I see that you use PicMonkey and I'm like, that just seems so much more complicated to me than Canva because I don't know it, but it's good to know that it is easy to manage. I was going to say, I don't know what I was going to try to say there.
Navigatable.
Yeah, that. I was like, I don't know if that's a word. Similar to you, English is not my first language. So I was like, I don't know if that's a word. But yeah, so you mentioned you live in Vegas. You studied hospitality. You also worked in hospitality with your family's business. So your family owns a bakery, which I'm dying to come visit and check out. It looks so freaking good. Is that what led you to do hospitality? What did you originally think you wanted to do when you went to college?
I originally, my whole life, I thought I was going to be a dentist. I went to school, like my first year, I studied biology and quickly found out that I am not smart enough for this. So I, then I was like, I don't even know what to do with my life. It was one of those moments, you know, in college. I think most people hit that stage, like, what do I do? So I was like, well, I live in Vegas. I live in like a city of where the strip and I love people and I don't know. I was like, okay, let me like go into hospitality and work in hotels. And I did. So I worked in hotels. That's how I got my summer internship in LA. I did an internship about like food and beverage. And that's where I found out I really liked marketing and social media. When I came back from that internship, I got a job at the Cosmopolitan and I was a front desk agent. And then I moved up to like VIP front desk and I hated it. That's like, to be absolutely honest, that's when I started to really not like people. And I like couldn't stand conversations. And now like even my boyfriend, he's like, I can like tell like you hate small talk. I hate small talk.
So do I.
That's all I would do. And I'm not good at it. And I'm not good at it because I'll just ask a person questions and I will never know how to end it. And like, then I'll get like anxiety and I'm like, I just can't be here. I got to get out of here. So it just was not for me. And while I was working as a front desk agent, I would blog. Like I would literally write in my blog and I would get in trouble for it all the time. And, you know, that's, I guess when I knew, I was like, I need to stop this. So I quit. That's when I think I like really started like taking my blog a lot seriously. And I was just so invested in it. I was unemployed and then I got another internship doing something absolutely awful. It was the worst internship of my life and I dreaded it, but I had to do it for school. Finished that. And then once I finished that, I got another internship at this place called Beauty Advisor. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm really good at graphic designing. So I started creating really cool stuff for my blog. And that's when people started reaching out to me for my services. And that's how I started like my own little marketing thing. Cause I would do people's social medias. I would do graphic designing, newsletters. I would do coaching and I would do content creating, but I would make it more of like a business content creating, not like influencer where I'd be like, okay, you're on a 3-month contract and you get X amount of photos a week or a month. And if you'd like to renew your contract, like we discussed that in month 2, you know? And that was with all of my services. So, but with content, with influencer, they're like, okay, we just want 20 images and here's a fixed rate, you know?
Yeah.
So it was more like me managing that. And then I quickly decided I hated doing that. I didn't really enjoy it, but it was good money.
No, and it's valuable experience. And a big theme on this podcast is nonlinear paths. And you wouldn't have figured that out, which led you to where you are now, had you not gone to school for hospitality and worked at that hotel and not like that internship and the internship that had afterwards. And internships, whether you love them or hate them, they're a necessary evil because they give you so much valuable life experience. And I think so important that you realize like, I didn't like these things about it, but there's things that I learned at this, whatever, each one you learn something for that has helped you now. So I
For
love
sure.
that. And yeah, I mean, it's different, like doing the graphic design and the marketing for businesses versus for brands as an influencer and creator yourself. But you learned from each one things that you can take to the other. So it really is super valuable. And it's how you were able to provide the courses that you are working on now, weekending and this graphic design course. And just your experience is just, they happen, everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer
Definitely.
of that. So yeah, when did working with Unlabeled come about?
Unlabeled came when, Anna. So Anna, the founder, she posted on her story and she was like, I have like this new brand. She didn't say what the name was at the time. And she was like, but I need someone for social media. If you know anyone, put their name down in this box. And I put it there, my sisters put it there, and I think that's the only people that we knew that put it there, but I guess others did too, and that's how she, like, ended up following me, and, it was perfect timing because that's when I came out with my, lookbook. So I do a lookbook every year, for a few seasons of the year, and, so she saw all my creative work, and she reached out and was like, "Hey, I'd love to, like, have an interview with you," and, I was like she's like, "Can you come in at this time?" And I was like, "Oh, I live in Vegas." So she was actually looking for someone in LA, but we just clicked over our meeting and I got the job that way. And I found out a day after Thanksgiving. So it was a great Thanksgiving. Very grateful for that. From then, it's been awesome. Like, I do content creating for them. I run the social for them, like customer service on like the social media side of things. So DMs, influencer outreach, and like Vegas photo shoots. So sometimes, like one time I went out to LA, two times I went out to LA for a photo shoot, so it's a really incredible and fun job. And it also helps that Anna is amazing. She is literally the best boss ever. She's like my sister slash mom. She's really similar to my mom of how she runs businesses. Like, she keeps her employees like family oriented, but also you respect her and all that stuff. So that's how Unlabeled happened. And I definitely don't plan on leaving anytime soon. So
No, I love that so much. And another big theme on this podcast, and I'm sure and similar to what we were talking about internships, it's all who you know and connections and putting yourself out there and, taking meetings, taking calls without expectations, but hoping, like, be hopeful and like just put yourself out there, baby steps, and things pay off. And I was talking about this with someone earlier, but she was looking for someone in LA. You were in Vegas, but you had something she wanted and she took a risk on you and it absolutely paid off. And that's so incredible. And I know I love seeing the branding and the photo shoots and how you influenced me to buy Unlabeled, actually. But I think you did that for a lot of people. But it's so cool to see that she gives you as much creative control as you have, and it's really cool because you are the vision behind it with her guidance, and it seems so freaking cool. Just
oh yeah,
the
she gives me full creative control. Like, she's never been like, don't do this, don't do that. And if anything, like encouraged me to do more, and I'm like, okay, cool. So she really like has.
I love that.
Awesome.
That's awesome. And it's just like what you said,
Mhm.
like, you respect her, but it's a very family oriented, warm, friendly environment. And I think that's how for me at Rella, and I love that environment as well. It's something that I really appreciate and I thrive in. So that's really cool to hear.
Mhm.
But yeah, so what are some of your, you are very well known for not just the graphic design and the content creation and just the aesthetic, but also people go to you for fashion and beauty advice. You are very, you love what you love and you don't like what you don't like, and you are very outspoken about it. And it's really refreshing, going back to what we were talking about earlier. So what are some of your wardrobe and like beauty staples?
Okay. Wardrobe. Let me really think about this. Okay. I think everyone needs this in their closet. And I think a lot of people will have the same answer, but I'm not talking like cheaper ones. and like good quality of these pieces. You need a good pair of ankle cut denims, dark wash, high waisted, and not skinny. You need a good leather jacket, not oversized, good fit. like true to your size. You need an amazing bodysuit, I'd say white, and you need good sneakers, white. Can be designer, can be just solid white Nike sneakers. And accessories, I think you need a good, nice necklace, a gold chain, almost like a Cuban chain, really thin. Those are like basic, but it's like, I think everyone needs that. And I don't think a lot of people have it. And I think, you know, you just kind of have to start there and then you build your wardrobe from there. Because you can work around those outfits.
Absolutely. No, I agree. I'm in the process of curating my wardrobe now as I'm moving back home and like spring cleaning and all of that. And what you said, like good quality pieces, like I've gone like investing in every couple years, I'll go even better quality because, you know, on a law school budget and I'm, you know, trying to make that money, you know, within your price range, but get the best quality within the price range that you can afford. Go from there and start building your wardrobe every couple of years, replacing and stuff. But I've gone curating my wardrobe, and I think those are some essentials. What are some brands that you like to shop at for those pieces?
Also another thing, I recently realized that you can also sell your clothes. So I used to like really not focus on that, but my boyfriend is really big on like selling and rebuying, and I think it's genius because like why would I, you know? So I started selling my clothes and using that money to buy like nicer things. And so that's how I do it. And okay, so my favorite brands to shop at is I'm not going to give like departments, I'll give like actual brands. I've been really into the brand ASTR lately. It's on Revolve, and I think they're Nordstrom. Mango has been another one of my favorites lately, and I really like Unlabeled, honestly, because the tops are like such good essentials. But Mango, ASTR, and Unlabeled.
Yeah, so Mango and Zara are like sister companies, and I really like Zara, but I want to start getting more into Mango because it's better quality and I think it's a little bit more elevated. And so I'm really into Mango as well. Haven't tried ASTR. Definitely need to give them a look. So give me a couple of your beauty favorites really fast and where you like to shop for beauty and accessories.
Cool. Beauty I'm going to do like my 3 favorite makeups is the Kosas eyebrow pencil.
You influenced me to get it.
Oh, it's so good. The YSL All Hours concealer. I've been using that for like 3 years. And for my and for lips, I really like the Bite Agave lip balm. It's so good. So I'm like, I love lip balms, so that's my number 1 right now. And all of those are obviously found at Revolve. And then skincare. Do you want to do skincare?
Yeah, go do skincare.
Okay. Skincare, my favorite right now is the Summer Fridays newest oil. It's like
so good.
It's the 12 Heaven or something. The moisturizer from Dose of Colors is my favorite, and then the eye cream from Summer Fridays is my favorite right now too.
Yeah, my entire morning routine is Summer Fridays. I love their skincare, and their lip balm is my absolute favorite.
Oh yeah, their lip balm's so good.
So good. So what are ways that you are able to maintain your sanity, honestly, with everything you're doing, but really more so just, you know, you share a lot of your life online, the curated and the not so curated, you share both, but how do you maintain the life that you don't share online? How do you keep them separate? And what do you know what to share and what not to share? And how do you share your life online and have a life offline? Because I think that's a big question that a lot of people are like, I want to be an influencer, I want to share my life, but like, what do I share? And how do I keep things private as well?
Right. So this topic is so fresh in my mind because I just had this conversation with Juan about it. We were in Phoenix and we were talking about, you know, like influencers going on these trips to like Europe, and I'm like, and I told him, I was like, honestly, like I don't even care about their content because I know it's so fake. Not fake, but like they're not like living in the moment. Like I can guarantee that. And it's so unattractive to me. And I'm not saying all of them are like that, but I'm saying the ones that I've been seeing lately, like I know it's like that because I can just tell by the personality. And I've never even met these girls, but I can already tell. So I really try, you can ask any one of my friends, like I'm never really on my phone when I'm with them, but I'm always posting when I'm with them. I just quickly do take it if it's something funny or, you know, interesting. And then I put my phone away. Like I'm not really invested in my phone. I really am into quality time, and I understand that that's so much more valuable than being on my phone all day. A lot of the times I don't really post when I'm with these Kyle or Juan specifically, because I don't want to. Juan doesn't really like being on camera. So I don't like really, I'm not going to like force him to be on there. Or if he is, like, it's because, it was just in a moment or something. But for the most part, he doesn't like it. So I don't really put him on there. And same with Kyle. I'm not going to, post him all the time, because most of the time I'm with Juan. And I'm like, we're having so much fun all the time that I'm not really invested in it. But I think it's just important to have that separation from social media, because I think social media is so investable. And you can, even as like a creator, you can get so trapped in like that like that non-reality of things. You make your life seem so amazing on social media, but then in real life, like, you have no personal connection with people. And I think it becomes an issue, and you kind of get sad and you get depressed, and then it translates on social media. So I try really hard, and all of my friends know that I really like behind the scenes type of content. So if I'm like doing something, they'll just like take their phone out and they'll like record. Most of the time, that's what I post, like, of them recording me doing something, or, did that answer your question?
Yeah, no, I love
Yeah.
that. I think it's really important as well. I've been really mindful of that as well. Like, I'll take pictures of things that I want to post later, but I'll put the phone away, spend the quality time, be invested in whatever that it is that I'm doing, and then share when I get home. So I'm able to be in the moment. And I love that you have your friends like taking behind the scenes content, because I love sharing the behind the scenes too. So when I move home, I'll definitely make sure, we're all creators ourselves. So like, I'll make sure that we're doing that, because I think that's such a great way of being able to have content to post and share your life, but you're not living for like
The content.
You're actually making the memories, not posting
Exactly.
memories.
Exactly. But I think,
like
I'm like really big on posting in real time. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I'll take the video and I'll quickly post it, and then I'll put my phone down. And like Bethany always says it. She's like, dude, how did you just post that? She's like, it takes me like hours to post one thing. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm like quick with it. Like, I just take it, I post it, and that's it. Like, you don't have to, take so much time on it. But
yeah, I'm quick
yeah,
too.
definitely.
For some things, I'm like, I'll do it right then and there. And then for others, I'll wait until later on the night. Like I did, like last night, she went to refill our wine glasses. So I was like, perfect, I'll post it right now. But then I posted more when I got home, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. Yep.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Manana, for coming on. This was so much fun. I really enjoyed this conversation. And for anyone who wants to be in the content creation world, or who's looking to level up their content, their business as a creator, what advice do you have for them?
I think this advice a lot of people will give too, but I think it's important to stay in your lane and just don't focus on other people's growth, and just focus on the content that you're putting out, and just figure out what you like to share and share that, but also make it very personal to where you're inviting people into your life. And so they know that there's a person behind the screen, and it's just not this like another influencer,
Yeah, I agree. Create the content you want to see that feels good to you, and your audience will want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Amazing. So where can everyone find you? And pimp yourself out. Where can everyone find you?
Pimp my ride. You can find me on social media, on Instagram, Manana Marie, or on TikTok, same thing, Manana Marie. Or my blog. My blog is going to be starting up again, trulymanana.com, if you want to get like a feel for like my more so like in-depth thoughts on there.
Absolutely. I'll link everything in the show notes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.